Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. It is Audrey Elaine with Just Be Audrey Elaine. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and hit that bell so you can be notified of when a video is up and posted. So, I always say we are the Just Bees. Come on and be who you are yourself, what your God given name is. Um, I thank you guys and I celebrate you as you celebrate me and being a part of this journey with me of my journal and it's some of everything I'm realizing. It's literally some of everything. Um, and I thank you so much. Today is the big celebration day because we all know it's July 4th, 2021. So I got the date. But yeah, it's July 4th and a lot of it is just celebrating us with our families and loved ones. And yes, it comes with the fireworks and the explosion. And it got me to thinking a little bit of get ready. Get ready. God is about to explode. He is about to explode in our lives. And what made me truly know it is, of course, it's Sunday. And I went to church. I love it. I love it. It's a place of comfort for me, a place of peace. I have that in my home. I have that within me. I will say that. But sometimes I battle myself. So going inside of the building of church really is a comforting thing for me because it allows me to really view a lot of myself, and then for my pastor to actually preach on, um, you know, self righteousness. We like for me. Let's put it as me. I will have a lot of wanting to point fingers out, but not on me. So I'm asking God to help me with that, to take that away and off and out of me. Because that's not how I want to live. You know, it's funny because my aunt always say that, remember, when you're pointing a finger at someone, three fingers are pointing back at you. So we really have to be mindful and get ourselves together and ask God to clean us up and remove things that don't need to be in us. I truly want a life of comfort and peace. I don't want to have to, don't get me wrong, I love going into the building of church, but I don't always, view it as I have to go there to get peace. You know how I really view church for me? I go there because it's a place of worship for me. It's a place of fellowship. More importantly, I see it as I get to see people. I get to be a part of. I get to be included. I get to say, you know what, God, this is a place that I can come and not only feel included. How about this? I want to have other people have that same feeling of someone saying hi, how are you? So I make sure I open my mouth and say, hi, how are you? You know, to love on someone else, especially in a time when it feels like sometimes, I'm not even going to say that it doesn't. It's like the real side, putting down all of the walls that I used to have up, and I still try to keep them up, but I'll be telling myself, don't do that. We gotta let the walls down. So I find it better for me to actually come into the place where I can leave everything out and truly keep on going and growing and being Audrey Elaine. And going around people, to me, I was once told that the church is like a hospital. You go there for care and then you come out fresh, renewed, but then it's always good to kind of go back to get a fill up, to go back to get a fill up. And I know now I can get that fill up right by myself with God at home. But I enjoy going into the building of church because it really helps me to know, you know what? I am not the only one out here that is hurting and going through something and growing and pressing and keep showing up. You know, I don't have to go and live a facade life anymore. I Someone said to me not that long ago, like we see a difference in you, and I truly forgot to, but I needed to say to God be the glory, because I see a change in me, and I have to say, man, God, this has to be you. We have to make sure that we give God His glory. But not only that, another thing of the explosive and why I was like, dang, July 4th and all of this was coming to me. A lot was coming to me today, and it was because I was in church really happy. Not not no song, not no preaching, not anything. And I was like, what is going on? And I had to tell myself, it's okay for you to be happy. It's okay for you to be happy. And it was so funny because this morning, I don't know how I came across it, but it was happy, joy. And it's okay for you to be happy because you have joy. Because you have joy. You have peace, Audrey Lane. So go on and do it. It's okay. It is okay for us to feel happiness. We're so used to having a behavior of us doing it. So it's like, okay, I can be happy because I can see that I did this. And that, how about this? I don't even see myself in it. This truly for me has to be God. And I've been happier than ever. And it's been a couple of months now. But for some odd reason today it came up to the forefront. It literally like exploded up to the forefront. And I had to make sure that, so I was asking God like to give me, who Audrey Lane really is. I don't want to mimic anyone else. Now, it is a such thing as for me, seeing, something and be like, okay, how did this person, when I know they had explained to me and it gave their testimony and they have this peace. And it's like, God, I want that. So it's okay for us to kind of mimic, to say, I want that peace. But I always make sure I say, I want my own. What you have for Audrey Lane, God, give it to her. Give it to me. Because I want it, and I want my own, because like I explained, no one has to go through what it is to be me. No one has to go through what it is to be you. Trust me, it's some days that I'll be like, oh my goodness, I don't know what's going on, but I'm not throwing in the towel. Because even with me not knowing what's going on, I know it's a whole lot better than what it was before, because there is a whole lot more for me in store. So for me to actually just thank God for all of it, it is wonderful. I noticed that I thank Him a lot, but not as much as I probably should. You guys have no clue yourself, and I'm saying this for myself, how much He does and saves you from. Audrey, you have no clue. So thank Him in advance. Thank Him, because I know it's nobody but Him. My head is a lot more calmer. I am totally different than what I thought I was. That's what let me know I had some really crazy stinking thinking, because I didn't really want to approach myself. So it was like, let me blend in with any kind of craziness, or let me kind of put up this kind of facade thing so people won't read me. But they do, especially if the person themselves have a personal, close relationship with God. They can see right through you. There isn't such thing as, where a person really can read your character. It don't care how much, it don't matter how much you put up this wall and you try to put on like the facade, the fakeness. You can dress yourself up and everything, but it can still be seen. And, and I am liking that people can call me out on that, because I know that it's like, man, one, I love the fact that now God is telling me a lot. And how I know it is Him is because, one, I would never think like how I'm thinking now. Everything was always wrong with someone else, or I didn't want to face it. And now it's like, bring it on. Because when I tell you, it is hard living for Christ. It is hard living this life. I wouldn't trade it. Because you got to be mindful for things that come easy and just give it to you. There's a cost for that. What are you losing by getting that kind of gain? You gotta ask yourself that question. What are you losing? Is it worth you losing who you are, your soul? Or you can't afford it. You can't afford it, guys. When you are worth so much more, you start looking at things totally different. And how about this? Even with the eyes that you look through, you have no clue, because you're not really seeing how God sees you. You won't start seeing it until it manifests down in you, that when God says it's time. Sometimes I just sit and I'm like, I don't know how to tackle this. Help me, God. In a truly genuine help. Not like this, just open up your mouth and say it type thing. But really like, God, I need help. I need you to come down in me and rise up out of me. You. And it's so relaxing. At first I wanted to give up some sort of a rebuttal. And that's when I had to start praying, God, don't let me rebut. Don't let me rebut. And yeah, that may not be the right word for it, but that's what I say. Don't let me go back and forth with you, God. I can't afford it. We cannot afford the easy come attitude. Because I'm noticing for myself that everything that is worth something, and I am worth a lot, is a fight. Literally, like the song said, worth fighting for. It's worth fighting for. Man, when first of all, God never left me, but for Him to come back out the way He has been coming, and getting rid of some things, it's like, I want to say this is why He was telling me to clean your home, clean these things up out of you, because it was like, you ever have like where you're cleaning with someone and you're throwing something away, but you want to fight, and like, no, because I like this, somebody gave it to me, or I'm not using it now, but one day I will be able to use it. God is like, no. I'm telling you to clean all of this up out of you, because it helps the fact that it's going to, well, not help, but put it like this, it needs to come up out of you because it's not beneficial to you, Audrey Elaine. It's not beneficial to us, guys. Why are we holding on and hoarding on to things of no use? Or how about this? We're holding on to things that really is actually not good for us. We're deteriorating just by having these things in our lives. And that can be people, places, and things. I'm learning that. I am loving a lot of the fact that God, I can be happy. Wait. For me, it was like Simon says, and it was really, Jesus says, be happy. Be happy. Repeat after me, Audrey Elaine, I am happy. I am happy. I am great. I am great. I can do all things because I am strengthening you. And I had to say it. I can do all things because you are strengthening me. When we are willing to show up for a battle, I'm noticing I don't even have to do the fight. The fight is being done for me. And that's a wonderful thing. That is an amazing thing, because a lot of the times, why is it human flesh side? You ever had it where you go and go fight somebody and it's a whole lot of talk going into it? I'm finding out none of that needs to be done. How about this? You show up for the battle, because a lot of the energy that you're going to be wasting, and a lot of it is done in the talking about it. Like, you got to show up in action. If you were trained for war and trained for the battle, you don't got to talk. You show up for war and you get to going. That's what reading God's word is the training us for the battle, for the war. We done seen plenty of times in his word of training for the battle. And they didn't, well, no, not training for the battle, but actually just showing up, and the war was done and won. And I forget which book it is, but I'm going to get there one day and I'll be able to share with you guys. But you can also look up, well, yeah, like I was about to say, you can also thank Google for a lot, because you know the Bible is the number one book, the number one best-selling book ever. And Google gets asked a lot about God. Sometimes I always joke with my children, I call it God will. Or God will. God will. Because everything is on it. And just like the Bible, everything that you need in life is in it. So this war that we're going through is literally going to be where we pray. We're going to learn a lot with our conversation with God. We're going to learn a lot of ourselves, and we're going to know a lot about God. Because how you see or hear how he works for someone else will be totally different for you. You're unique. You're your own soul. God wants your soul. He don't want you to blend and mimic, someone else's So to the point that you start taking on them, he knows you uniquely, so he wants yours. And mind you, I just said that you can mimic someone. However, you gotta mimic the fact of how they overcame something. That what you were defeated in, you're not defeated in. We are all out here with our own issues and our own situations, and it's a battle for us. That's one of the reasons why, you know, I make sure I do a journal every day here, because I want where it's like, what's your name? You thought you was coming on here to actually vent out and see who you were, and you know, want to, I don't even know past that. But it was more so, now I am seeing that you are not the only one that has where someone wants to know that, dang, I was down and out, and now I can put the work in with God and grow. Audrey Lane did it. And this girl, and you guys only know, I wouldn't even say a pinky know of what my life has been like. And how about this? It's a battle for me in a lot of ways, because I'm going to reveal it, but I have to find the right way of revealing it, because I don't want nobody, I'm not a victim. And more importantly, I don't need where there's spectators. This is a participating channel. This is a channel where we all come to celebrate and love on one another. And that's what I encourage you to do with your Just Be. Don't make yourself no victim, because you are not. You may have some times where you voice out things. However, you're not a victim. Encourage yourself. Get right into God's word and say, hey God, I need encouragement. Please give me encouragement. It's a lot in his word on encouragement. We are victorious. And you know how I know we are? Because we show up for the battle. We show up for the battle. One of the great things I can kind of say that I thank God he's just always so faithful. I used to be like, oh God, I want this faith that you say. And you say it's like as small as a mustard seed. So how do I have this faith of it, of you? And it was like a chuckle, like, honey child, all you gotta do is open up your mind and your heart. All we have to do is open up our mind and our heart. When I tell you, feeding our souls with his word, I have no clue about how I want to go about saying this. But I do see this all the time, making sure you show up and you really sit with him. Ask him to give you him. Reveal his word, and you put it down in you. Put it down in us. All of it. We cannot afford to pick and choose what part of his word we want to take for us. We need it all. We want a full-fledged meal. You want all of it. The appetizer, the soup, the dessert, the refreshment, and just when you think you had enough, you go want more. I, you talking about explosive. He has a way of grabbing our attention. He has a way of stopping us right when we need it, right when we about to cross into something we shouldn't have been in, been with, going into, doing. And we have to take heed of that. Remember, it's our souls at risk here. We can't afford to lose them. We can't afford to. We done played around too much. Do you think you got another chance? Do you think that the life you live, that you can afford to do another one? Isn't it a calmness and a blessing to you when you're not always out racing about, when you're not always out just trying to blend in, when you're busy, it's not really busy because it's pointless? It's a good thing being alone. It's a good thing being in debt. It's a good thing because I'm tired of living a shallow life. Go deep. Go deep. You'll be breathing better. You'll be doing better. You'll be of more substance. You have to know you are still here for a reason. You know, abiding by God and abiding by everything that He is putting in us. It's hard. I'm being honest for myself. But then it's not. And the reason why I say that is because I'm finding out what I thought was good is really not. I ran too long. That part of my life was too much. It's too costly. And I am loving it. It's July 4th, guys. And I'm not out doing anything. I'm here in my own wonderful, blessed home. Peaceful. My cats is actually behaving today. I'm not out, and I'm not mocking or knocking anybody or knocking anybody. Because it is a time to celebrate with our families. But I am. I'm celebrating with my children. I'm celebrating more importantly with God. I'll see fireworks. I see them in myself every day. I see how I just come up and explode more and more. I see how He, more importantly, explodes in my life. You know, you talking about grateful. One of well, she's our choir director. She is, amazing. I really go to an amazing church. I really do. I truly, I explained to you guys how I end up coming to this church. And I am so grateful in a lot of ways because I no longer take up a seat. I am no longer there as oh, I went to church, I can go act a fool. You know, I got a little bit of Jesus in me, let me go act a fool. No, I, I, man, I am actually sitting and being with him on my own. I don't have to worry about, oh, I need to go because my mom, my grandmother, who deep rooted both of them in the church. I don't have to go because it's like, oh, you know, let me live this kind of life so, you know, people can think I'm holy. How about this? I come into the building of church, but I'm in my home with God all the time, frequently in church with him, in a relationship with him, learning and getting corrected in him and by him, being able to have him love on me. This lonely period, I no longer look at a lonely period. It's a reason why I have to be by myself right now. It's a growth thing. Not everybody can handle the growth. And I know how, and I know why. Because I'm learning how to deal with the growth. I don't need any distractions. You don't need any distractions. We can't afford it. Remember, our soul is at risk. You know how it's like at your own risk. Park here at your own risk. Play at your own risk. That'll be your life if you want to keep on living the worldly life. In Audrey Lane, you can't afford that. That will be your life if you want to keep on living the worldly life, Audrey Lane. Stop it. I was reading a book I got my godson, and it talks about getting ready, getting ready, getting ready. And it talks about when Nehemiah and Ezra, and I hope I'm pronouncing the name right, is going over and they're reading all of the commandments that Moses had written out. And the people, it was supposed to be the festival, the joy, the festival. You're going to go because you're out of your exodus, you're out of it. And they were feeling hardship and they were feeling condemned. They were feeling, a lot. And it was saying in the book of how it was like a mirror being held up to them. And they didn't like who they were. And I will honestly say, that was me. I always joke, but not joke, I always said, my very best friend is a mirror. A mirror. A mirror. A mirror. A in a mirror. Because she would tell me some stuff that I'll be like, man. You can't run from it. As much as you want to try to, sometimes we distract ourselves because we don't want to face the reality. Just because we had a messed up life, just because we did a lot of things wrong, a little bit wrong, just because there was craziness around us, just because our family or friends or whoever had it, we was grown up in our environments, our situations, everything, the statistics, does not mean that they can't be broken. They're breakable. God can remove them up off of you. You can come out of it. You don't have to stay in it. The revealing, man, love God for the revealing you to you. Because in the midst of him revealing you to you, he's going to reveal that he's been there alone this whole time. And now he can say, okay, you see you? I've always seen you. Now here's what we're about to do. I'm about to do this in you. And then he's going to do it. And he's not going to include you in it because you surrendered. So now he needs you to do your part. Because now he can go even more explosively. Because you surrendered. You say, God, I give myself to you. You do with me as you want. Because he doesn't move on his own. Now, don't get me wrong. He saved me. He truly did save me. He did not just cast me away. And I appreciate that. But yet, even in the saving me, he didn't go on and say, okay, now you will do it like this. I still had a choice. And it's scary saying this because I'm so grateful that I chose to dig deep. It's a song. Oh, I almost said their name, but back in the day, and some of the lyrics said, the choice is yours. You can go with this, or you can go with that. And I don't own the rights to it at all. But I will tell you this, the words are so true. We have the choice. Choose to go with God. When I tell you, ups and downs, the waves, the ripples, everything, we get into the peak, guys. We get into the peak. And how about this? All of our paths, all of our situations, all of the circumstances, we like icebergs. They are building a strong foundation with God. So what people see at the top of us, they see our peaks, and they see all that beauty and all that just wonderfulness. They have no clue of how deep it goes down with the foundation with God. Because God, it's not their job to see it. It's all his. He needs us to go out there and show everyone that, hey, I've had a past, yep. But I thank God for it because he's seen me all along. He knew what I can do for him all along, even when I didn't know. When I counted myself out, he still had me counted. He still has you counted. Wake up and stay awake. Because I don't know if I have this one. I was reading a little bit of, I don't know if I can, yes, I do have it. So I was reading the book, and it is talking about the harvest. Now, everybody wants to love the harvest. They want to go right into the harvest. They want to go into, oh, God is blessing me. He's giving me this and that and this and this and that. But do you know the instructions that come with the harvest? So he talks, and I'm not going to read word for word, but it says the harvest is great, but the workers are few. So pray to the Lord who is in charge of the harvest. Ask him to send more workers into the field. Now go and remember that I am sending you out as lambs among wolves. So when we want to go out and make sure we are gathering souls for God, we want to make sure that we are aware of the surroundings, but also know that God is working for us. So he's going to block things out. But we better know who is around. He'll show us who is coming that shouldn't be with us. And we're going to handle them with love and care and keep on pressing forward, because God will fight. He's not going to let anything get in the way of his job. So he is not going to let these wolves come up and attack. Now, they may attack, so let me put it like that, but he ain't going to let them devour us. Ain't no way in the world. So he says, go out and remember, I am sending you out among wolves. Don't take any money with you, nor a traveling bag, nor an extra pair of sandals, and do not stop to greet anyone on the road. Whenever you enter someone's home, say first, may God's peace be on this house. So that made me feel like, you know what? God is sending me out in peace. He is sending me out in love, because you know peace and love go one in one for me. This is where I say I want to get more and more of his word and ingest it into my soul and saturate, let it saturate into me, because I say peace and love go so much together. For me, they do. Do you understand that you are a light for someone? That you sitting up here and you may not feel like you have a testimony. May feel like your testimony is disgraceful. May feel like it belittles you. No, it don't. No, it does. It qualifies you for God's kingdom. It qualifies you for God to say, you know what? None of that, none of the statistics that you sitting up here holding against yourself, I forgave you. When you go to him and you ask him for his forgiveness and you change your life for him, he washes all of that away. He restores us. It's a wonderful thing. And how about this? Like I explained, if anyone wants to bring up your past, say so. So. Not in a nasty way. So. You got to keep on pressing. And you know why I say the so? The so? The so? Because I'm sowing. I'm sowing in to the purpose of God. So I'll take your sow that I have to give you, and that lets me know I got to do another seed. God help me. And how about this? We got to actually say it in a loving way, because we got to ask God, here's a soul for you. God, get their soul. You grip them up for you, God. Grip their soul up to you. So that's a soul. Do not get in your own way. Don't hinder your own process. Stop living where you feel as though everything was done wrong to you. Don't nobody understand you. You don't know what it's like to live like this. You don't have to live my life. I don't. But are you living? Are you living? Or do you just exist? Are you just here? Because you could just be here breathing, walking, talking, and moving, but not doing. Not being of purpose and in purpose. Or you're like, you gotta make sure you watch that. You guys out there, you gotta make sure you watch that. We have to love. We have to love. And trust me, it is something at times. But then again, it's not. And the way I remind myself just now with that, my soul would be at jeopardy if I do not go out and love people. I have to. I have to. It was so weird for me at times to be like, God, how do I love someone? Because you would think you know that, right? No, you don't. I didn't. So I have to ask God continuously to show me how to love, to show me how to inspire, show me how to lift up, show me how to forgive, show me how to I'm about to say this, or he's gonna get me. Show me how to really give myself up and trust you. Show me how to trust. And it starts with me trusting him, not myself. Not my little stinking freaking flesh, because that flesh ain't reliable. It comes and it is for the moment. It never really looks at the long haul, the long end of it. The flesh is weak. It only goes off of right now. Our souls go for the forever and ever, ever, and ever, ever. That's what we want. Yeah. Another thing that got me about this was the hospitality. And that was something, don't hesitate to accept hospitality, because those who work deserve their pay. Now, the reason hospitality got to me is because last week we were doing our spiritual giftings, and I have what they say, a gift of service, a gift of help, a gift of hospitality. You want to know what the payoff is for me? That stamp of approval of job well done. Audrey Elaine. Job well done. That's paid in full. That's paid in full for me. That's a wonderful, wonderful thing. You truly got to make sure that this life, our life, is worth it. This fight is worth it. We all know we will fight for our children. Let somebody come up here and smack one of our kids. Whether or not you go streetwise with it, court-wise, any way, we're fighters. Take all that initiative and fight for souls. And start with your own. Say, God, I need you to start with my soul. And God, I know for me, I know I have a choice, but I choose you. I choose you, God. I used to always but trying to figure out, to put it like that. What is this transformation? What is transformation? It took some time. But it came when I least expected. So it's like, man, the faithful 40s is something for me. It's something for me. It may take us some time to get to God. Because it's us, not Him. But when you get there, the battle comes up, the wars come up, but don't you run. We're winners. Literally, we're winners. Don't you know it? It's okay to have some moments, and we're human. However, we gotta know that the flesh is weak in one thing, but our souls is so much more stronger and worth fighting for, because God, He placed it down in us, Him. So when things want to come up, we got to instantly go into His word and rebuke it. Because like my pastor said, and I've known this for some time, sometimes it ain't always the devil. That crazy thing in your head that's you, sometimes it's you. Sometimes it's us. But isn't it amazing where you can call on God's name and He literally is like, I ain't never leave you, I'm right here. I knew you needed it, I was waiting for you to call me. Like that good friend. I seen that you were struggling. I was waiting for you to call me. Yep. How about you ain't even really have to call me, because I was fighting it without you even knowing it. I thank you guys for subscribing to Just Be Audrey Lane. I thank you. I truly do. This everything, this journal, this I don't know what to call it other than me being Just Be Audrey Lane. You guys start your Just Be. Who are you? Who are you? Do you know who you are? Better yet, do you know whose you are? So you guys finish enjoying your celebration. Remember, the explosion is here. You are a light. Show me. dark times, don't worry about them. God has it. You are a light. And someone definitely needs to be touched by you, by what your situation is. More importantly, we got to be touched by our own situation and know, hey, I'm better than it. We got to make the progress, make purpose, go forth. We got it. We got it. We got it. So thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I thank you. I love you so much. And I make sure I don't just say it to say it. I mean, I'm a hugger, so I wish that I could hug on you, really. But virtually, I'm hugging on you. I'm hugging on you. And I believe a hug is some things. Like the lady at my church who's the hugger. She literally hugs the hell right out of me. I am hugging on you. You are someone. You're strong. You're powerful. You're mighty. You're God's child. Let him come in and do him in you. It's good to show up and let God take over. Remember, we're vessels. He's pouring down in us. He's cleaning out things that don't belong. But he's pouring into us. You guys really, truly have a great one. Love and kiss on yourself. Blow God a kiss. So I see you tomorrow. I pray everyone has a wonderful July 4th. Thank you again for subscribing to Just Be Audrey Lane. Hit that bell so you can get the notifications. I love you. I love myself. And more importantly, I love God. Thank you, God.